Welcome guys to a brand new playthrough on the Marcanine channel. This is of course Pokemon Blue version. Now this is a very special playthrough for me because when I first started YouTube all those years ago, I started with Pokemon Red as my first full complete playthrough. And it hasn't been since that point that we have returned to the original Generation 1, and so I'm very excited to be diving into that today. Now, for some of you, this might be your first experience with Generation 1. For others, it might be something that you're going to be reliving the memories just like I am, so regardless, I'm very excited. Hopefully you will be as well, but without further ado, let's get to Pokemon Blue. I did not mean for that to rhyme, that just is how it kind of came out. Let's go. Doduo. Alright, we are starting a brand new game. Oh, that music, it just really hits you know? Hello there, welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Oak, people call me the Pokemon Professor. This world is inhabited by creatures called Pokemon. For some people, Pokemon are pets, others use them for fights. Myself, I study Pokemon as a profession. First, what is your name? As for the whole like voice accent thing, get used to it. I'll probably like screw that up and then change the accents like every few episodes, but it's just a thing I do, so get used to that. Now, the original trainer was actually Red, right? So I think even though it's giving Blue, Gary, and John, like doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for us, so we're gonna go ahead and stick with the classic. Do I want to go with my own name? I never really liked how limited the slots were with the naming, but that's fine. Okay, fine. Let's just do Mark. I was going to choose Red, but whatever. So this is the Blue version, obviously, but we're still going with that theme of he's obviously Red and the Gary character is Blue. Right, so your name is Mark. This is my grandson. He's been your rival since you were a baby. What is his name again? Alright, so we're not going to choose Red, Ash, or Jack. None of that really pans out for me. We are going to stick with his name being Blue. And I know that Blue is sort of like the English name. I believe in Japan, like his original name was Green, I think, but whatever. That's right, I remember now. His name is Blue. Mark, your very own Pokemon legend is about to unfold. A world of dreams and adventures with Pokemon awaits. Let's go. Now, one thing that I thought was really cool is when you played Pokemon Red and Blue, which had a singular color palette when they first came out in the Game Boy, it had like green screen and sort of like the blackish greenish like text and design and everything and like all, but now you play the game on like a colored console or device or something of that sort, you get a variety of color options, which is really excellent. I don't remember Blue looking this beautiful, and I'm really happy to see that. My Red playthrough, I went and revisited that before I started doing this just to kind of like get a feel for what I was getting myself into and what I was going to be returning to. And man, it just hits in a way that modern games do not. Oh man, look how sharp everything looks. Right? Let's get a little tour of our hometown here in Pallet. Won't go up there yet. This is Gary or Blue's house. Okay, so we're going to get the map. Obviously, this is our home. 2 houses and a Pokemon lab. This big old fat dumpy guy. Technology is incredible. You can now store and recall items and Pokemon as data via PC. This is actually going to be really interesting because I've been sort of spoiled with the modern games. Things like Sword and Shield, Scarlet Violet, Legends Arceus. Those games gave you a whole lot of options that are no longer here. So it's going to take some getting used to going back to where everything started. Come on, try and talk to you, lady. I'm raising Pokemon too. When they get strong, they can protect me. Now, just as a reminder, there are no shiny Pokemon in this game. There are very few elements in this game as well. There are no effort values or individual values, or EVs and IVs, as they are called for short. The EV, not the Pokemon, but EV for effort value. So it's very, very simple to kind of stay focused on the task at hand. Have your Pokemon be a high enough level, stomp them with an elemental advantage, and that's all you really need to worry about. Of course, their stats will benefit from training rather than, I think, rare candies. You know what? I might have to look that up. I don't remember now. Rare candies might not give it the same boost, but I can't recall. Was that introduced in a later generation, or was that the original generation? Very early on in the game, if you used excessive amounts of rare candies to level up your Pokemon, they were not as strong as something that was raised just by leveling up. Because EVs and IVs were not introduced in this game, I believe they were introduced in Gen 2. Maybe. Correct me on if I'm wrong, but I believe Gen 2. Also when shiny Pokemon were introduced, and more elemental affinities. I think that's because that suggests to me that it doesn't really matter. You can use rare candies and get to level 100, or you can battle Pokemon and get to level 100, and the outcome is the same. But anyway, I digress. So if we go into the Pokemon lab, obviously there's nothing really for us to do there because Oak is out and about, and it's triggered by leaving the town. So we can pop out of here. Hey, wait, don't go out. It's unsafe. Wild Pokemon live in tall grass. You need your own Pokemon for your protection. I know. Here, come with me. Man, I love how beautiful it looks. I love Blue's sprite the most. I just think it looks so cool with that weird like shark fin thing sticking out the side. I don't know. I just love this dude. He's so great. And as time goes on, we start losing that sort of like angry, grumpy a-hole rival, and it's replaced with like friendship and love and buddies and all. And I just, it's so annoying, dude. Be a jerk to me. Like, give me a reason to motivate to like beat you. The power of friendship is so annoying. Gramps, I'm fed up with waiting. That's probably the voice I'm gonna keep for Blue. Blue, let me think. Oh, that's right. I told you to come. Just wait. That's what she said. Here, Mark. There are 3 Pokemon here. Aha! They are inside the Pokeballs. When I was young, I was a serious Pokemon trainer. In my old age, I have only 3 left. But you can have 1. Choose. Hey, Gramps, what about me? Be patient, Blue. You can have 1 too. Okay, so now we can choose. Now, I wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit. Charmander is my obvious favorite, and anytime I ever play the Pokemon Red and Blue games, Charmander is like the default Pokemon I always went to, but I want to change that up this time. We're going to go with a different theme, and I'm kind of sad about it because Charmander is so fantastic. Man, look at that old classic sprite. I am so tempted to just stick with Charmander, but I kind of want to go with Squirtle this time. I kind of want to go with Squirtle. Actually, let's read that. Not yet. Let's read that again. I didn't actually read that. I backed up first. Obviously prefers hot places. When it rains, it is said it's about, oh, okay. I missed that. Let me try that one time. Oh, get used to that. Okay. Obviously prefers hot places. When it rains, steam, that's the word I missed, is said to spout from the tip of its tail. That makes sense. All right. Squirtle. After birth, its back swells and hardens into a shell, powerfully sprays foam from its mouth. Oh, okay. That hit the ear wrong, depending on how you read that. Powerfully sprays foam from its mouth. Okay. I am going to pick Squirtle, but let's just take a look at these, just because it's nice. A strange seed was planted on its back at birth. The plant sprouts and grows with its Pokemon. Okay. All right, so whichever one we pick, he's going to pick the elemental advantage over us. Now, the benefit of Squirtle this early on is that we can do really well against Brock in the first gym. On the way to Pewter City, where he's located, we'll be stopping in Viridian Forest, and I believe there's a 5% chance of running into a Pikachu. Very early on in the game, we can get it between, I think, level 2 and 5, somewhere in that ballpark. And that'll do really well against Gym 2 when we take on Misty in Cerulean City and her water types. From that point, we're going to need to find some sort of rock ground equivalent, probably a Geodude, presumably in Mount Moon, that we can get that'll help us with Lieutenant Surge. If we use Charmander, there's not really a huge advantage against using him against the rock-type Pokemon that Brock is going to have, which is going to be Geodude and Onix, respectively. If we use Squirtle or Bulbasaur, we're good in the first gym. If we choose Bulbasaur, good in the first 2 gyms, but Squirtle will have to sit out when we get to Lieutenant Surge in gym number 3, so we'll worry about that later. But for now, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a Squirtle. Numero 7. Oh, this is exciting. We're going back and we're finally getting him. Bam! Let's do it! This Pokemon is really energetic. Mark received a Squirtle. Bing! First one on the team. Do you want to give a nickname to Squirtle? Oh, that's right. They have the old sprites. Look at that thing. Every water-type Pokemon is going to look like this. I completely forgot about all the classic sprites. That's really funny. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to skip it. I don't really care to give him a nickname, actually. I never was really into that. Wasn't my thing. I'll take this one, then. Loser, you got a Bulbasaur. Lame. I'm just kidding. I actually really like Bulbasaur. I think one of the reasons why I never really chose Bulbasaur in the beginning is because Fire always seemed cool, and Bulbasaur looked lame. Let me reiterate. Fire as an element seems cool, which is why I chose Charmander. Bulbasaur's design was a real turnoff. So even if I was into the whole, like, grass-type thing, which I'm not really, like, Bulbasaur seemed really lame. Later, though, in later installments, I think particularly in Pokemon Yellow, when the sprite got redesigned, Bulbasaur really caught my attention and has become my favorite grass type ever since. And not only that, but Bulbasaur and its like family evolutionary line of shinies is like one of the coolest ones ever. That yellow flower on the back, come on. Charmander and Charmeleon shinies, totally lame. Charizard, S-class, S-tier. Squirtle has a green shell, pretty cool. Wartortle, Blastoise, kind of lame. Bulbasaur, pretty cool. Ivysaur and Venusaur, way cool shinies. Love them. Always like having shiny Bulbasaur on my team, but that's neither here nor there since shinies aren't even in this game, but whatever. We're just talking. Okay, cool. If a wild Pokemon appears, your Pokemon can fight against it. All right, let's go. Wait, Mark, let's check out our Pokemon. Come on, I'll take you on. Oh, this guy. Come on. God, I love this. I'm so excited to play this. I've been looking forward to this for months. Blue wants to fight. Blue sent out Bulbasaur. Look how simple the UI is, the text. The sprites are like really bad, but I love them so much. And this is all we can do is we'll just go ahead and just use a back and forth tackle over and over again. He got to attack first, which sucks, which means that he might knock me out unless he uses like growl or whatever he has on his end. Yeah, we're not doing too hot. He might win. It doesn't really matter that much. There it is. Okay, sweet. Now we're good. We'll win. And every once in a while, we'll get a crit hit. Okay, yeah, we're tied. But now I have the advantage of getting the last attack. There it is. Yeah, he gave it to me. He handed that over, so we won. Critical hit. Yeah. Gave it up, son. Nice. Level up. Boom, boom, boom. Level 6. What? Unbelievable. I picked the wrong Pokemon. Actually, if you would have picked Charmander, you would have gotten stomped even harder. Well, probably not actually, because there's no elemental attack. We're just tackling back and forth. Although Charmander uses Scratch, but whatever. 175 bucks. Okay, I'll make my Pokemon fight to toughen it up. Mark Gramps, smell you later. I love that music. That's my theme song. Raise your young Pokemon by making it fight. Okay. Just sending a 10-year-old kid out in the wild. Okay, let's go, and we have to check with Mom, and we have to check with his sister. I'm not sure if we have to do one or the other. We're gonna grab the parcel here. Hi, Mark. Blue is out at Grandpa's lab. Oh, okay. I don't remember. Do we talk to Mom first, or do we leave and then something happens? I can't remember it. The order of operations. Also, the TV's on the floor, by the way. What is the deal? Mark, you should take a quick rest. Thanks, Ma. Oh, good. You and your Pokemon are looking great. Take care now. Okay, so there's probably nothing else for us to do right now. Let's get a couple wild Rattata and Pidgey out here. We'll knock them out. Just to get a little level up action. Now, also too, I'm not looking to do any sort of, what's the word? Like Nuzlocke or anything like that. We're just playing for fun. We're just re-experiencing the game, experiencing the story. That's all that there is to it. I'm not doing any special rules. There are a few little, like, tricks that I'm going to show you guys that you might not know about Generation 1. It'll be probably around between, like, the 5th and 8th episode. But it'll be by the time we get to Cerulean City and we get to Nugget Bridge. And there is a method that we can follow, as seen in my Pokemon Red playthrough, where you can legitimately obtain Mew. Yes, that's right, legitimate Mew. So the game runs on a system of zeros and ones, as most computers do, and the binary can be altered to trick the game into letting you encounter any wild Pokemon that you want. I'm not going to use any codes when we get to that. I'm not going to use any sort of alternate like methods outside of just watching me play the game. We're just going to battle Pokemon, and that's what's going to happen. And it's fantastic because this works on literally every version of these games that exist. If you're playing on an original Game Boy, if you're playing on a virtual console, if you're playing on an emulator, and I say virtual console to differentiate because Pokemon Red, Blue, even Yellow maybe, are available on some of the digital storefronts for Nintendo. I know by the time I've recorded this and posted this, I think the Nintendo eShop for the 3DS has closed down. So there are limited avenues. I'll have to look into it. I'm not sure where else you can buy and play the game. It's possible that you could get the game on Switch. I know there's 1 or 2 Pokemon games are up there on the Switch, but I'm not sure which ones they are. The classic ones, I mean. Obviously, the newer games are there. But anyway, once we get to that point, I will walk you through as thoroughly as possible everything you need to do to catch a wild, legitimate Mew. I guess the only thing that wouldn't be legitimate is that it will show you, like, caught on this location, which is, like, not true, because, like, you can't really catch Mew. Like, there's no in-game event to catch Mew. There's no way to get it. It's, as a refresher, from what I remember, and I never really looked into it more thoroughly than this, but what I heard as a kid is that in order to actually get Mew in Pokemon Red and Blue, and I think even Yellow, you had to participate at Toys R Us, like, Pokemon events, whether it was like a trading card game or maybe you just did Link Battle. Like, you know, you had your Game Boy and you had a cable and you connected it and you did a battle, and the winner would be rewarded a Mew into their game. An official Pokemon rep would give you a Mew. I don't think every Toys R Us participated. I certainly never heard of anyone near any Toys R Us participating near me. But that was super exciting. I mean, rumors about that stuff flooded the school. You remember all that talk about, like, that unused asset of the truck around the Bay Area of the SS Anne's location just to the right of the dock? We'll look at that too, if I remember what we need to do that. Because I think you're able to use Surf by the time you get to the SS Anne outside of battle. I can't remember. I can't remember exactly the order. We'll figure it out. But you get Surf, and if you get a Pokemon traded to you that knows Surf, then you can surf over and look at that unused asset. And that's really all it is. But man, rumors flew around the schoolyard when I was a kid talking about this. Kids at lunch, kids at recess were talking about if you use Strength, if you beat the game and then come back and do this and have a level this Pokemon and have this item on you and all these little things, then you would be able to move the truck, and underneath it would either just like trigger a wild Mew, or there would be a Pokeball underneath it, Mew would be there, or there was like a staircase underneath it, Mew would be there. It was all BS, but man, those freaking rumors went like wildfire. And then of course there were the kids that just like got Mew illegitimately by using codes and cheats, like with Game Sharks and, you know, whatever equivalent handheld devices there were. But there's actually a method for you to obtain Mew in this game without doing all that. Nothing outside the game. You don't use any hacks or cheats or codes or anything like that. You just basically follow the steps that I'll show you when we get there, and then you can run into it in the wild and catch it yourself. But I missed it. This one must be fast. But that's something that'll be down the road. I just got excited because I remember thinking about that, and there was a lot of discussion on the Pokemon Red playthrough, specifically surrounding that video. But I digress. We will get there. How is this thing so fast in dodging my attacks? What is going on here? This level 4 is a problem. I just want to get to level 8 and then we'll move on. Dang, he is stomping us right now. I can't... There we go. 3 HP each time. No, yeah. I just gotta hit him one more time. Heal up with Ma. And then we're gonna go to the Pokemon Center up in Viridian City. Once we get to Viridian City, we'll get the parcel. Oh, great. We got the water attack. Okay. That's useful. Once we get to Viridian City, we'll get the parcel. We'll come back to Oak. And then we'll get the Pokedex and all that stuff. And then we'll be able to move on. Man. I just have so many fond memories of this game. Because, like, I was kind of a... No, I was definitely kind of a dorky... Like... I wouldn't say loser. That seems kind of mean. But I was a lame kid. And I kept to myself a lot. I was alone by myself a lot growing up. So a lot of times... Like, my experience with Pokemon started with the big fat gray Game Boy handheld and Pokemon Red. Obsessed with it. When I realized that there were Pokemon that I wouldn't be able to obtain that were in this game in particular, I think, like, for example, Scyther and Growlithe were available in Red, and I loved that. But I think the Bellsprout family is in Blue, and they got the Oddish family in Red, right? And then I think Vulpix and Ninetales. See those ledges along the road? It's a bit scary, but you can jump from them. You can get back to Pallet Town quicker that way. I think Vulpix and Ninetales were exclusive to Blue. I'll have to look this up just to make sure I'm just trying to recall from memory. But those things made me want to get another game. And so, not too long after I had got to the point where I needed the rest of the Pokemon to complete the Pokedex in Red, I got a forest green Pokemon Game Boy Pocket. And that was the raddest console ever. I'm trying to track down that exact color on Etsy for those guys that do like, look it up if you don't know, but they do custom modding of Game Boys. They get the shells and they replace all the internal like parts and guts and motherboard and everything with like USB-C recharging. Oh yeah, that's right. Pokemon Center and the Pokemart are two different spots. They put like USB-C on it, rechargeable batteries, backlights, like all these different features, bells and whistles to kind of keep with the times of modern technology on a Game Boy, which is friggin' excellent. You want to know about the two kinds of caterpillar Pokemon? Sure, Weedle and Caterpie. Caterpie has no poison, but Weedle does. Watch out for its poison sting. Okay, I don't really need to go to Pokemon Center. We'll go to the Mart, though. Hey, you came from Pallet Town? You know Professor Oak, right? His order came in. Will you take it to him? Mark got Oak's parcel. As a kid, this was the first time I was ever introduced to the word parcel. I was like, what in the friggin' heck is a parcel? I had no idea what that was. And curiously, somehow, I didn't learn, or I didn't bother looking it up, because I was a kid. I don't know how old I was, but it was the 90s, right? So I wasn't very old. I didn't know what the word was. I never heard anyone use it, because people generally don't use the term parcel. And I don't think I was like, until maybe, 16, 17, where I actually heard someone use the word parcel, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a word that I somehow have not been in the presence of anyone using since I had played the Pokemon games. I'm like, oh, it's a package? It's just a general unknown package or whatever. So, okay, good to know. And learn what a parcel was that way. But anyway, when I got my Forest Green Game Boy, back to that point, because I kind of got distracted there. When I got to the Forest Green Game Boy and I got Pokemon Blue, I replayed the whole game and then traded with myself, and I completed the Pokedex on with what I could. I think I only got to 150 because I don't think there was an available way to get Mew that I knew of at that time. But yeah, battled with myself, traded with myself. It was really pathetic. Oh, Mark, how is my old Pokemon? Well, it seems to like you a lot. You must be talented as a Pokemon trainer. What? You have something for me? Take the parcel over. Ah, this is the custom Pokeball I ordered. Thank you. What did you call me here for? Oh, right. I have a request of you two. On the desk there is my invention, Pokedex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. Mark Blue, take these with you. Oh, I didn't have to walk up to it. To make a complete guide on all the Pokemon in the world. That was my dream, but I'm too old, I can't do it. So I want you two to fulfill my dream for me. Get moving, you two. This is a great undertaking in Pokemon history. All right, Gramps, leave it all to me. Mark, I hate to say it, but I don't need you. I know, I'll borrow a town map from my sis. I'll tell her not to lend you one. Love him. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and grab the town map. Bada boom. Grandpa asked you to run an errand? Here, this will help you. Cool. Town map. Use a town map to find out where you are. Okay. Heal up one more time. I'm not sure what our HP is at, but we'll heal up. What is our XP currently? How many more battles do we have? Pokemon are looking great. Take care now. Let's see. Pokemon. Stats. What does it say? HP is 27. ID number. So it doesn't actually tell you how much HP you need to level up. Unless I'm remembering incorrectly. Where the heck is this? Oh. Let's see, hold on. So there's no way to toggle it. Oh, there it is. 20 to level 9. Okay, so we can level up real quick. There that was. I didn't see that at first. I think one battle should do it, so we'll just knock out whoever's here. God, all these battles, I remember when I was a kid and you were like in the back seat and it was late at night and you didn't have any sort of method of lighting. You had to sit there and like, first of all, you had to watch how bright the little red light was on the Game Boy to make sure that you weren't running out of battery, because if the game shut off and you didn't save it, you were screwed. So you had to frequently save, which was even more difficult because there was no backlight on these things. Those little LEDs didn't have any sort of lighting on it. And you had to like sit there and like hold the freaking Game Boy up to like the glass window of the car and hope that maybe a street light would come by and give you a moment's like glimpse of lighting so you could save it. I prayed every time like there was a stoplight coming up that we would hit a red so we could stop and get lighting from a nearby street lamp so I could save the game or like do something really quickly. Or like those times where you were like charging it with that with like replaceable batteries or that, you know, whatever, and you had to plug it into the wall and the cable was always too short, so you had to sit right next to the outlet. Oof, that was a pain. All right, let's grab some Pokeballs. We're gonna need that for when we get to Viridian Forest so we can catch a Pikachu. That's gonna be what we do next. Let's see, Pokeball. I'm gonna go ahead, wait, what? 99. Is that math right? 19, that seems weird. Okay, I don't know why that hit me wrong. 19,800. Maybe Pokeballs are more expensive in other games. Why does that seem so low? I don't know, it doesn't matter. But we're gonna go ahead and do, yeah, see, that isn't, no, okay, whatever. We'll do 15. Okay, and then we'll grab an antidote. Actually, isn't there someone, there was one other person we didn't talk to that can give us some potions down here in the grass. There was 2 people there. Not this guy. Yeah, no, I'm good, man. There was one person we didn't speak to and they were like, hey, like I'm a Pokemon employee. Oh, you're doing like a training thing or whatever. Here, take some potions. I can't remember where they're at, but they're like right in this general area somewhere. Where are you? It's not you, was it? No, he told us about the jump. Wasn't there a second person here? I'm not forgetting that. Or remembering that incorrectly, am I? There you are, that one, I think. Hi, I work at a Pokemon Mart. It's a convenient shop, so please visit us in Viridian City. I know, I'll give you a sample. Here you go. Cool. I don't remember. Do we get running shoes in this game? Or are we always this slow? We get the bicycle, but I don't know if there's running shoes. I always thought that trainer animation was also weird because I noticed once I had a Game Boy Color, lime green Game Boy Color, and I played this game on it, and it gave you a little bit more of a variety and you saw different colors. Like you noticed that the Gust attack was red, but like his hat was red for some reason. It comes in red and then turns blue. Weird programming error. Now, if I remember correctly, I think Brock's Pokemon, I think Onix is the real tough one. Bubble will definitely do some major damage, but ideally I want to get to maybe level 12 by the time we get him. Because even though Pikachu will learn Quick Attack somewhat early, maybe even before like an Electric Attack, I don't recall, but Pikachu's going to be completely useless. The other Pokemon that I want to obtain as part of my core lineup, for a while at least, is going to be male Nidoran for Nidoking. Let's heal up. Just, I mean, I don't know. You never know. Also, how many times did you guys like walk down here and then not pay attention and you took one extra step and then you jumped over? I was furious. I've done that so many times. Welcome to our Pokemon Center. We heal your Pokemon back to perfect health. Shall we heal your Pokemon? Yeah. Pokemon are fighting fit. We hope to see you again. See that? Oh, I did it again. Dang it, didn't mean to do that. All right, so there's a path to the left, I think, here. So there's this thing. We'll get the HM for cut, and I think that guy gives us a TM. Then there's another cut point here. I thought there might have been like a hidden item either here or like somewhere in this general area. Maybe it's after you cut it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I guess I found it this way, but if you cut that tree and then you tap on it, you can find that potion. So useful for when we get there. I'm not going to go to the left. That's ultimately the path that leads us to the Pokemon League. And I believe, I don't remember there's someone that stops us, but I do know that if we go too far, we'll eventually run into Blue and he'll probably kick the crap out of us. So I'm not about to do that. Those Pokeballs at your waist. You have Pokemon. It's great that you can carry and use Pokemon anytime, anywhere. Cool. So here before stopping us before we delivered the parcel was, I think, that old man right there. When I go shop in Pewter City, I have to take the winding trail in Viridian Forest. I've had my coffee now and I feel great. Sure, you can go through. Are you in a hurry? Yes. Time is money. Go along then. I'm gonna say no. Does he give me something? I see you're using a Pokedex. When you catch a Pokemon, Pokedex is automatically updated. What? Don't you know how to catch Pokemon? I'll show you. Oh, I didn't need that. Dang it. I know. See, his hair was also red as well. Do I need to click anything? I thought this whole thing was automatic. Okay. Seemed a little too easy. First, you need to weaken the target Pokemon. Okay. Alright, so we have the gym over here that we obviously can't go inside. This is where we're going to ultimately... Well, chances are if you're watching this playthrough, you probably already know. But if you don't know, I'll save it. Or maybe later I'll forget and I'll spill the beans. But for now, we'll leave it. Trainer tips. Catch Pokemon and expand your collection. The more you have, the easier it is to fight. Another cut point. Fly is over there, I think, right? Route 2 to Viridian City, Pewter City. Yep, gotta do all that. A cut point. I believe, I don't know if Nidoran appears in this patch of grass or even if it appears in Viridian City, but I do know that you can catch Nidoran. Dang, I don't know if it's male or female. Anyway, you can catch him, one of them, just outside Pewter City after you get through Viridian Forest. In between, like, that tiny little stretch of land, there's like a big grass patch. Right before you enter the city, there's a grass patch that you can catch a Nidoran. I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, whoa, I thought I discovered like some sort of crazy secret. I was kind of dumb. I don't really have much of an interest to add Pidgey just yet. And the reason being is because, well, not even just yet. I'm only going to catch Pokemon I'm going to use. I don't really have an interest in catching Pokemon I won't have in a battle. But, again, I don't like the sprites that Pidgey has in these games. And Pidgeotto was fine, I guess, but Pidgeot looked terrible. It was just like a head with wings sticking out of it. Very odd. But, I think once we get Mew, we'll probably teach Mew the HM for Fly. Because if you didn't know, which maybe you did... Ooh, you know what? We might need a second Pokemon before we take on Pikachu. Although, the Pikachu we run into might not have Thundershock. We'll have to think about that. But anyway, if you didn't know, Mew can learn any HM or TM. So, I'm not going to make him like an HM slave or anything, but I think Fly is going to be useful. But regardless, I think that's a good point for us to stop. Pretty decent length for the first episode of the playthrough. Got a little commentary, kind of laid the groundwork and expectations of what we're going to do in this game. I'm really excited about all that. This is super exciting. And even though this is the first episode of what will be a fairly long playthrough, I'm really excited to jump back in and return to Kanto in this way with you guys. So hopefully you guys are enjoying that. And if so, you can show your love by hitting the like button. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel as well. If you do have any feedback, leave it in the comments section down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I do reply to all initial comments, so if you leave a comment, you will hear from me. But like, if I reply and then you reply, I don't get the notification in the same way, so I might not reply to that. In which case, just leave another comment. You get it. There's also some links in the description box that might be of interest to you, one of which is a link to the Marcanine community Discord server. If you want to be part of that group, you can chat with me directly and other like-minded individuals such as yourself. There is also a link to geekoutpost.com, which is an entertainment media blog that I own, operate, run, manage, design, and write for. It is a great place to stay up to date on the latest entertainment and gaming news, reviews, and rumors if you are into that kind of thing. Otherwise, just know that I appreciate you and your time, and hope to see you when we continue with more of our playthrough of Pokemon Blue right here on the Marcanine channel. Alright guys, that's it for me. Take care, be well, and I hope to see you soon. Later.